have the pleasure of having this interview with a renowned chef and culinary expert, Gary Mehigan, as he embarks on his much-awaited journey to Sri Lanka. Welcome, Gary, and thank you for joining us to this flavorful and amazing adventure. Hi, how are you doing today now?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very excited. It's not far away now, my trip, so I'm looking forward to it. Putting the final touches to the menus, talking to the chefs at Cinnamon Resorts, and making sure that we've got everything that we need. So a lot of planning and logistics, but very exciting.
Yes, we are excited as you are as well. So my first question for you is, what inspired you to visit Sri Lanka and what excites you most here?
Well, I've been wanting to come to Sri Lanka for a long time. It's one of the countries in Southeast Asia or South Asian, kind of region that I've never been to. I've been to India a lot, been to Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, you name it. But Sri Lanka's never seemed to have kind of fallen, into my lap. But this time it has. And we've been talking to Cinnamon probably for a number of years now. George Colabaris came out about 5 or so years ago. And we had this whole thing planned, and then lockdown happened, COVID happened, and it all got put on hold for a couple of years. So yeah, it's taken some time to organise, but I'm really looking forward to it. And in terms of inspiration, I'm really excited to see a country that I've only heard good things about and only seen from afar. Even as a little boy, I remember watching a series on Sri Lanka and all the beautiful beaches and the lush green, farmland and hinterland. And, it's one of the places that I've really wanted to visit. And obviously I've got quite a number of Sri Lankan friends and they keep telling me, when are you going to Sri Lanka? So now finally I can say December and I can't wait.
Finally, we are excited to have you here as well. So what drew you into Sri Lankan cuisine?
Yeah. Well, I did tell somebody else that one of the first dishes I ever cooked, one of the first Sri Lankan dishes that a friend passed on a recipe for was a black pepper pork. And I've been using that recipe for I don't know, it's got to be 25 years. So yeah, it's quite interesting. But, the seafood obviously is something that I'm really looking forward to. And the experience of eating it in Sri Lanka is different to obviously eating it in a Sri Lankan restaurant or cooked by Sri Lankan friends here in Australia. So it's about time and place for me. But things like the pan rolls, the kotu roti, the mud crab, sourfish curry, all of these things I want to get stuck into and taste firsthand. Yeah, and obviously the hoppers. String hoppers are one of my favorite things on the planet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, I don't know, eating plenty.
All right. So apart from string hoppers, is there any Sri Lankan dish you mainly want to try out?
I think stuff I'm interested in the sambals, to be honest. Everybody talks to me about different sambals, dried fish, that incorporation of those, funky kind of salty preserved flavors in dishes. So that, they're the things that I want to really get stuck into. I'm just trying to think of a specific. There's actually, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. Is it mullen? There's a type of wild green that's, cooked. You take wild greens, including things like pennywort that you cook and you put coconut with it. I think it's called mullen, but anyway, you can figure it out. But that's one of the things I try. It's more about tasting dishes, because don't forget, in Australia we get a lot of Sri Lankan produce, a lot of spices. We've got a big Sri Lankan community, but there's a difference between eating Sri Lankan food here and in Sri Lanka because of where the food comes from, and actually using particular ingredients that you can only get in Sri Lanka. So I'm curious to see what how the taste is different from something I might have eaten many times before, like a pan roll, for example, and then eating one in Sri Lanka and seeing how good it is.
Yes, sure. All right, so moving on to the main question. Can you give us a little bit of insight about the collaboration with Cinnamon Hotels?
Yeah, so this has taken some time to organise. I think, as I say, pre-COVID, this was on the cards. We were trying to organise some dinners then. And so that will probably be about 3 years ago now, because obviously post-COVID, Sri Lanka's had a tough time in kind of getting back on its feet and for tourism to start, returning to normal. So, this has been a long time in the planning. And that relationship's been there for quite some time, So I suppose that's the essence of it. And when they asked me, is it time? Can we do it this year? I had such a busy calendar. I've been backwards and forwards to India, filming for National Geographic, filming a series called India's Mega Festivals, and also working for a company over there called Knorr. So my year has been jam-packed, and December was the only time we could fit this in. And there was almost a point where I was like, I can't do it. I'm never going to be able to create the time. But even my wife said, Gaz, you've been wanting to go for such a long time, just say yes. So we just hit the go button, and everybody's been pushing along to make it happen. So yeah, menus are done, dates have been set. We're sourcing ingredients and bits and pieces now. So yeah, it'll be on us before we know it. Looking forward to it.
The Sri Lankan audience is also waiting your experience here as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting some fans too. I'm getting lots of messages on Instagram from people that are saying, oh, you're coming here and you must eat here and all of this stuff. So it's great.
So apart from the collaboration, do you have any plans going out to sightseeing or anything?
Yeah. So work first is the priority. So I've got, 3 events to actually deliver. So that's going to be, I've got 2 dinners, an afternoon tea, which is going to take a bit of time. I've got 2 chefs coming from Australia as well to help. But once that's done, my wife and daughter are joining me. We're going to take a bit of a holiday. We've got about 6 days traveling around, going up to, Hubba Rana. We're going to do an elephant safari, and we're going to go and see what's the flat top hill, the mountain? Sigiriya.
Yeah.
So we're going there. We're going to Bentota. Want to do a couple of spice plantations. Maybe get out on a fishing boat and cook something on the beach. We'll see. So yeah, we're a bit of a holiday, and I don't know. I just want to have a bit of time at the end to really soak it all up and eat some good local food and meet some lovely people.
We really hope you enjoy your time at Sri Lanka as well, and we hope you'll come back again and again.
Well, that's the plan.
So can you tell us what the audience, your fans in Sri Lanka, can expect from your cooking this time when you're coming to Sri Lanka?
Sure. So we've got a couple of beautiful menus that we've put together. We're going to use kind of the best of I've spoken to the chef at Cinnamon, and we kind of put some big circles around ingredients that we need to use. Whether it's lagoon crab or river prawns, things like this, the tea, the coffee, and then build our menu around that. And the menu's very Gary. It's very comfort food orientated, very French, I suppose, French or Italian in kind of origin, but there's lots of little touches in there. So a bit of Spanish. I've got a jamon croqueta with romesco sauce. I've got a tostadita with a tea cured snapper. So there's various kind of things from around the world. I'm doing a sesame prawn toast with ginger, gamascio, and bonito. Little waffle with smoked salmon. Mushroom parfait. I'm doing a Thai style crab with the lagoon crab. The river prawn I'm going to turn into a ravioli with a bouillabaisse type sauce, so kind of a classic French southern style kind of bony aromatic sauce, which will be really strong and delicious. And then with a bit of Australia, we're going to use a slow cooked rump of Australian lamb with some kind of Moroccan Middle Eastern spices. So yeah, there's some big flavors because I know I've got some challenging palates to impress. So definitely. Yes, Western flavors.
I'm already excited to taste your food now.
Yeah, big and bold. Yeah, so big bold flavors, but in a Western, context.
Okay, so Sri Lanka is known mainly for Ceylon tea. Is there an influence on the menus this time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm doing a tea cured snapper. So that's one of the things I'm going to use the tea for. And I'm also I've been guaranteed that there's a couple of good local coffee roasteries. So I want to use a local coffee in the dessert. I've got a 18 karat gold coffee flan with hazelnut cream and a dark jaggery caramel that I'm going to use the coffee in. So yeah, fingers crossed. And lovely cinnamon as well. I want to use lots of cinnamon. That's going to be in the lamb.
Nice. Okay, so my last question for you is there any message you want to give out to Sri Lankan fans and food enthusiasts?
Oh my goodness, a message. Well, come and see us. Book your place on one of our dinners or our afternoon teas. come and see me. I'd love to meet you. You know, I've been getting, as I say, lots of lovely messages on Instagram, people looking forward to meeting me. And so, yeah, and I always say it's, on my many travels, it's often not the place, but the people that make the experience special. So that's what I'm after.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. And we are excited to have you in Sri Lanka, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining, and thank you
Thanks,
for your
Tamara.
valuable time.
Thanks, Tamara. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.